Kyle, ask me a personal question. Just ask me any personal question.
Did you beat it today, Zach?
No, Kyle, I didn't beat it. What Kyle didn't know is I absolutely beat it. That's the only... I gotta do the intro, the very special intro. We all know it. All right, in unison.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Yes! Who's ready to rock? Let's go.
Hello and welcome back to the Starbaby Social Hour. It is me, your host, Zach. And joining us today, we're joined by two lovely guests. Lovely in their right...
Matt. Did I miss my cue?
No.
Cool.
I already feel this one's going to be a long edit.
And I'm Kyle, otherwise known as Kriticz.
Kriticz, my graphic design friend, a.k.a. Kyle Lescarbeau.
Snarsbo. Escargot.
How do you actually pronounce it? Because I don't know.
Lescarbeau.
Lescarbeau.
French-Canadian to the extreme.
Yeah.
We won't go any further than that.
What does that mean?
You know French Canadians. Or
Oh.
You know what they say about them or something.
I don't know. Like, depending on who you're talking to, it's like Canadians are like, fucking Canucks. And then like French people are just like, some people just don't like French. I don't know, man. I've no one in America like really does shit about it. No one really cares as much. But like then you'll like hear from like here and there like, oh, you're French? Like what the fuck? Are you like a pussy? Like where's that coming from? Is that like 300-year-old like hate that you don't even realize what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, you know how the French say attack, right? Retrant.
Exactly.
I'm out. All right, bye guys. I'm leaving over here. I'm walking out. I'm going away. I'm walking away.
But for real, like Monty Python and shit like that, just everybody hates on the French, and it's been around, and it's just like,
Yeah.
so like I don't give a shit because I'm from Arizona, so
Right.
like
Yeah,
it
you're
has
not French.
there's no correlation except I realize I shouldn't live this like far south to like the equator.
Right.
Like I'm pale and I should be in Pale Land. Like no hate either way. Like
Where's Pale Land?
just north,
Up.
just north,
Not south.
less sun. I'm a dormant dude because of it.
It's
What's up? My name's Kyle. I'm a dormant dude. I'm 28. How old are you?
26.
Okay. That's fine. That was pretty close.
yeah, that's fine. We don't have to kick you out.
Yeah.
It's all good.
If you're 28, fucking get out of here, man.
Yeah. Ever since that last 28-year-old came into Zach's place.
Yeah.
I
that
know. Those
fucking
guys.
dickhole.
Speaking of that guy, what's up with the scratches on your face?
My face?
Yeah, or your neck?
Oh, that's just. I think it's a zit. I'm not sure. It's either a bug bite or a zit.
Lovely.
Yeah. Well, you asked.
Love bite?
That's the social hour I know.
Oh,
How's you
no.
guys' bodily functions today?
Pretty
Tight.
good. You know.
It's been good.
Tight.
It's been good.
You know what? Regular.
Regular. Yeah.
I think that's all we can ask for.
it's good. Apparently it's Sunday for you, but it's good.
Yeah. So says your shirt.
I wish it was Sunday. I don't
It's
wish
not.
it was Sunday.
I don't have a schedule.
Yeah.
Like, that depends on days.
No,
Yeah.
why. It just
Just wake up. You're like, huh? Okay.
It happens to be the weekend for some people. Then it's just like, oh, okay. What up?
So, Kyle. I don't know. Graphic design. Am I right?
Am I right?
You guys both design
We do
graphics.
graphically. We design graphically. Us two.
Yeah. Let's
We could get
steer
into
this
that.
boat in the right direction, boys.
What's the right direction? What do you want to talk about? I had Kyle on this podcast with the loose intention of like, hey, we could talk about art things.
We talk about art things,
But
creativity.
you know what?
But
We
like,
could also fucking not.
I mean, we could
You're
talk about.
revolutionary.
We talk about like geological shit and like
Go on.
planetary things,
Okay.
bro.
I'm intrigued.
I don't know.
Sounds like you're on a roll. Go for it.
No,
You got something rolling around in your brain?
no, because I definitely don't want to talk about Earth stuff because then it just goes to climate change and that's just not fun.
Yeah, you're
Your
right.
stuff is changing. That's what's happening.
Crazy things are going on around here. But
yeah, dude. Hurricanes.
hurricanes and stuff. And here we
That's
are
fun.
just talking
They're
about
plentiful.
it. Yeah. Yeah, you know. It's all good. Does it affect you though? In the desert? We just got dust storms.
Gas prices are going up.
Yeah, but we just got dust storms though.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
We've seen worse. So it's okay. But
Yeah.
you know. The world's blowing up and we're just making stuff.
That's all you
Well,
can do.
Right. We got into that a little bit the other night. We were just like, yeah, like we
So the
can't
whole
give
thing
a
about
shit
it is
really because we're
you
just
gotta give a shit a little bit.
well.
So that's the whole thing is like the world's blowing up and we're just trying to make some cool stuff. But like, do you go full circle and make stuff about the world blowing up to tell
Right.
people? And then I don't know.
Or do you go the opposite way and like lean out of the, you know,
but it's popular, I guess.
Lean
The-
over,
the-
lean over here.
Are we just like? I'm staring
Do you-
you hardcore right now.
do you
It's
lean
all
out
good.
of the popular motifs, you know, the pop culture to
I mean, I would like to think that climate change and stuff like that's not pop culture, and like hurricanes aren't pop culture. I mean, like they're
Hey,
big in the
kids.
media, and like I understand why people like
right.
understand like sensationalism with like media and stuff like that. But at the same time, like the atmosphere gets dense and things get kind of crazy. Oh, what?
Just
yeah,
sit comfortably and then move your mic to your face. So you don't have to. Oh, there goes the table. Yeah, it'll bend.
We can
Oh,
scoot
my
forward,
beer's
too.
safe. We're good. Is this right here?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Just make sure you're talking into the diaphragm
Oh,
so you get that nice
yeah.
radio shit going on.
radio.
Do you want
radio.
to come closer? I don't know. What do you?
Oh,
It's great. You should put it on the floor.
But
There
yeah,
we go.
anyways, weather and stuff. It's kind of cool. That's why we live inside, though. So it's kind
Yeah,
of it's
we
lit.
do, don't we?
It's lit indoors.
Indoors.
AC and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It is weird. So,
are we gonna get into some-
assuming like climate change or global warming in whatever state it is
whatever you consider it?
keeps accelerating at the rate it is,
Mhm.
and let's say, I don't know, however long it takes for like shit to be considerably fucked.
Yeah. I mean, like it's just
Like
different.
on a everyday
different.
level fucked. Like, oh, I need to get in my like space humidity bubble
Well, it's
to go to the grocery store because like we're
It's-
not gonna fucking give up, and I don't mean that in like an aspiring humanistic way.
we're really good
like-
at surviving. Just humans in general, we've been really good at
Yeah.
surviving, and we got a lot of technology.
And there's
So
money
I get-
to be
I get-
made.
I get what you mean.
So-
right? Like we'll be all right. It
People
depends
will make shit.
how many people will be all right, and to like what extent we'll have to go.
Right.
And so like, yeah, you know, it's all fun. It sucks. Automation and technology will keep getting cheaper.
It's fun.
though.
It sucks.
So, like,
man.
it's you know, people get to learn stuff through it, and because we have a lot of technology, people are learning stuff really quick, and so
True.
hopefully it's quick enough. I don't know, you know, there's always we're really reactionary, so that happens.
That's true.
But it's all good. It's all good. That's the universe. That's life.
Yeah, I mean it's fine until
Things
it
keep
isn't.
going. I mean, for us, but like, you know, if we're screwing it up, like, do we deserve it and all that crap and
Right.
whatever the hell you want to talk to?
Like, because there's a point to be made that like there's a 1-to-1 correlation of like, okay, you have a fever, your body raises the temperature to kill the bacteria. The Earth has a fever, it raises the temperature to kill the fucking humans that are fucking polluting all the shit.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
So maybe we just fucking, I don't know,
It happens.
take it.
make logos and drink beer. That's been like my my answer to all those, you know, issues.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like a lot of what I've been thinking about because of it is like, do I need to make logos for like a better cause, or do I
Right.
need to like be creating because of it and for it, and like then it's just like that weird nonprofit organization kind of thing. Like, well, how do I really help as a creative person to like make sure people have food, or like
Right.
so their houses like don't like go underwater? Like,
yeah,
you
like
can't.
there's a certain point where painting really doesn't do shit.
No.
Like painting's really good at like expressing
Yeah.
like abstract concepts to a lot of people. It's great for that. It's not great for building a bridge.
well, it's like
You could paint a bridge.
You could paint a bridge.
people will like donate like
Inspire people.
artwork and stuff like that to like charities, and it's interesting to see that. But like, people don't make videos for free or stuff like that,
No.
which I think that's like where you can have like good media coverage and like different things to like help create like viral stuff. But like mostly it's, I don't know, small donations in here. And like, I get that.
Yeah.
And I hope.
Like that Coney 2012 thing, there was like this huge uproar because the people who did the video that was like tailored specifically for a very select demographic that would be like, let's do this, right? They were not nonprofit. Like they hella took all their money and didn't donate it to the weird Coney fucking cause.
Coney people.
Are you talking about Coney Island?
No.
No.
What are you, Coney?
Joseph Coney in fucking Africa 2012.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, never mind.
He pushed it from his brain.
Yeah.
There was
like, nah.
There was a relevant that irrelevant bullshit like that yes.
Yeah.
The internet 5 years ago.
Yeah, man.
Let's not go there.
Mm-mm.
Hey, there was no ads on Facebook, so it was pretty lit.
5 years ago?
I don't think there was ads on Facebook 5. I mean, people were doing different things on it, but I don't think there was like, hey, like a third of what you see is a video or an ad.
Oh yeah,
True.
it was definitely less. I think there were still ads, but it was definitely less.
Way less.
Yeah, like it was just banners and stuff. It wasn't videos before a video.
It's all good. Just gotta
It's all
say
good.
it.
It's all good.
It's all good.
What's the best place on the internet right now, Kyle?
For what?
Just the best place.
Just
the
the
best
best.
place for fucking Dragon Ball Z videos is Facebook.com.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kyle was telling me about how he is like
I am targeted like crazy.
he's like cross-bred like plants of videos on Facebook to create nothing but Dragon Ball Z videos in his feed.
I'm hype on it, and like I'm the kind of guy, and I found out there's not many like me because my girlfriend gives me shit for it all the time. Where it's like, I'll watch a video just because I'm like trying to get more into video content, and then like I just keep watching videos.
Right.
And she's like, "Who the hell does that?" Like I understand like scrolling through your Facebook feed, but you're through like scrolling through like Facebook's just like video feed of just shenanigans, which.
Yeah.
I get sucked into that every now and again.
There's some good stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's some bullshit. And then there's just like it's all the things. It's like YouTube, but
It
a
is
little
all the things.
it's a little bit different than how YouTube does it. Obviously because you're like way targeted to over time because like
Yeah.
they're kind of ads. I mean they're pretty much ads for whatever the heck somebody's trying to like target you with. But yeah, Dragon Ball Z videos like yeah, I'll get on a feed where it's just like it knows, and it'll just throw me like not even like no skip, just like 10 different Dragon Ball videos, whether it's like any of the sagas, whatever the hell, from like 5 different pages. It's just like here you go. Like, oh yeah, come on, keep
Their algorithms
keep smoking our
working.
crack, keep going, come on.
Keep smoking our sweet Dragon Ball crack.
And then at the end of the day, I've been watching Dragon Ball on subtitles on Hulu for the past month, and I'm like halfway through the series, and it's like. I'm lit. It's lit. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but now I don't really watch it on Facebook because I'm like watching it so much on Hulu. So
Yeah.
I guess there's that, and I'm pretty sure that's not what Facebook wants.
No, it's not. But that's what happens.
So that's the funniest part about it. Is like
That's what happened.
they're targeting it. It's like, all right, guys, this is dumb. Why am I doing this? Let me actually go watch this. And so now I am. And it's a good world.
It seems like they kind of forget that you can watch videos other places, Hulu, Netflix.
It's just
YouTube.
interesting to see that like beyond ads, it's just like no, we're just gonna feed you Dragon Ball videos, and it's like, well, are you really trying to like sell me something, or are you just trying to like distract the hell out of me?
Well, if they keep you on the platform, then you see more ads.
Oh yeah, for sure. I get.
So it's like this weird almost.
As long as I'm there, they're happy.
Yeah.
And so if it's that just like feeding
It's
me
like the whole daily active users thing. It's like one level deeper. It's like daily minute.
They own my soul. It's all good.
Daily minute.
Every time I see like a piece of artwork about like somebody parroting like what internet or like the phone or Facebook's doing to you, it's just like I scream with my soul, but it's just like, oh yeah, it's
The thing is, most of those times I see them on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
so it's like get off your phone, but look at my art first.
Is that just like ironic, or like is it like an oxymoron in like a different sense?
It can't be ironic 100% of the time.
It's just great.
Oh yeah, I think at least half the time it's genuine. They kind of forget.
Like some of my favorite things. One in specific that I'm remembering is this dude that went to our high school on Twitter. He was like, it was just like a picture of all of his friends at a table, like they were going out to eat somewhere, and they're all on his phone, and they're like, "Oh, look at all my friends," and I'm like, "You took this picture with your phone, bro."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. People,
That's it.
phones,
It's nuts.
the
Pictures.
Black Mirror.
the digital dimension.
Black Swan.
It's all good.
Natalie Portman, my man.
But so like that's the whole thing is like so, and we're making stuff. You know, we're
Yeah.
making escapism for all that crap at the same time. It's like
Gotta make content, all right?
Content,
You gotta
right.
get your
That
content
fresh-
up. You
fresh
gotta
content.
get that content happening. You gotta
gotta-
put out the content.
You got to be a media company, bro. Like your entire life has to be a media company. Everybody needs to be a media company.
It's true.
Apparently.
There,
That's what Gary Vee says. And
Gary
he's
Vee's right.
God.
have you ever heard something that Gary Vee has said that's been wrong? I didn't fucking think so.
Did you
Because
ever
you're
say? Did you ever
stupid.
hear when he said he's God? Because he's right.
I'm surprised there's not memes yet, like just like hardcore making fun of him, like, and not like in a bad way, but like a Gordon Ramsay kind of way,
Right.
Right.
where it's like we get it and like
Just, like,
you're right, but
characterizing
like
him.
you're just yelling at it. There's so much. There needs to be like influencer memes, and like
Yeah.
I need.
Listen, the only it terrifies me. The only thing you don't ever do is because you're and it's too
because
late
you're
because
not
you're
doing
young
it.
enough.
Patience, hustle, wait, go.
You think because
But that's like I'm surprised there's not more like I'm surprised like South Park's not making fun of that stuff yet
Right.
because it's like it's way prevalent
Right
on
on.
Facebook
Yeah,
and like
it really is.
marketing's always like that evolving thing, but it's like entrepreneurship and like marketing is like a really like it's trendy and like everybody who's trying to do like any type of business like oh I go to YouTube or like podcast or I go do all these different things.
Yeah.
Like how is that not? We've only been like one episode into the South Park season, so I'm gonna shut up because I would not doubt
Yeah.
that they do something like that.
yeah, I don't keep up
They're-
with South Park, so fucking
They're
You could be
good.
right. They
They're
could
good
have
in their
totally
in
done
terms like the past 4 or 5 seasons. Like they've been really spot on with like how quick they hit stuff.
Yeah.
So, but no, there needs to be more stuff making fun of it because it's like taken way too seriously because that's like what everybody wants to do. Like I got to be charismatic. Like yo,
That's my biggest problem with, I mean, that guy or just any of those people is that people
Right.
take them very,
Let's do
very
it.
seriously. Huh?
let's do it.
let's do what?
Here we go.
Oh, I mean, you guys do graphic design. You guys can make those memes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
no.
calling memes graphic design is
You guys have computers that can do things. You can manipulate pictures.
you can put text on a
I've never like kind of like gauged it, but I could probably whip out like 15 memes in an hour.
Boom.
wow.
You ever thought about starting a meme page?
Yeah, meme factory.
Hell no.
Kyle's meme factory.
Hell no.
That sounds
like-
great.
That's like somebody's like my cousin used to say like, why don't you just like make like templates for
Just
like
make
women to do
image
arts and
macros.
crafts? No, she's like, there's so much money in like if you make templates for like women to do arts and crafts. Like I know people making like 6 figures. It's like, well, yeah, and I would hate my life,
Right.
and like that would
They
never.
also
like,
probably corner the market. Like getting into that, I'm sure is
oh
not
yeah.
a fucking easy.
Facebook ads though, bro.
Facebook
like
ads.
Facebook ads. Like if you know how to do that, bro.
What does that
Pinterest.
person mean?
Facebook ads.
Have them, make them, see
Facebook
them.
ads. They're the thing. They're in. Like why is it?
What- They're in.
They're in. But I need to see like more Inception like shit making fun of marketing these days and like how like
Yeah.
Facebook is the way it is. Like people just like adapt to it and like everybody bitches about it, but like nobody like really makes fun of it. Like, oh, Facebook updated and it's like really dumb. Why'd you do this? Like this is the platform for like memes to like spread. Why aren't you making
Right.
something about your platform that you're bitching about?
Facebook doesn't want it to
Well, I get.
Oh, they wouldn't
Yeah.
care. They wouldn't
It's
give a
Big
shit.
Zuck.
Yeah, it's Fuckerberg.
No, because if their memes kept you on their fucking page, like you said, they don't
Yeah.
give a shit. I put
No,
way
it's
too much
the
foam.
up-
Look at that foam.
Yeah, nice
Mm.
pour. Quality head.
Thumbs up, fam. It's great. But yeah,
Kyle
no.
poured a beer poorly.
It's just funny being around that world. Like, just that's where like
That's what
everybody
happened.
wants you to go. Is like, hey, make videos and just like animation and ads
Yeah.
and marketing and funnels, and it's just
And other buzzwords.
all those dumb things.
Synergy.
Synergy. Lead funnels. They'll make you buy things. Give me your email. But like all that stuff's like, I don't know, like that's what like I've been dealing with on the corporate side, and it's just not fun, and like it's not helping anything. So like when we talk about like making stuff when like the world's blowing up, I definitely know making a lead funnel for like whatever XYZ company I'm doing, it's like it's just feeding the beast.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
that's where you make your money. I get all that shit. It's like,
You gotta feed the beast.
How do you make your money? You feed the beast.
You feed the beast.
No one's gonna pay you to
Beast is always
fucking better
hungry.
the world. Are you kidding me?
Facebook, feed the beast.
But like that's all. That's the only thing that's on my mind lately. That's it. It's
Just
like
the shit being fucked up, and you're just like, nah, art.
well, no, it's everybody. It's like as like everybody realizes what's going on with the world because media and news and social media and all that crap and interconnectivity and cell phones and yada yada, whatever the hell you want to talk about. Like people, we're getting it. It's not that hard to like realize like, oh, okay, that's kind of dumb. It's everything's been dumb. We're just figuring it out. But it's like now, how do we like make stuff to make people like, oh, okay, everything's dumb. Let's actually like do not dumb stuff.
Like what though?
I don't know.
Like everyone's got one magnum opus.
Like,
You only get one fucking.
well, that's like the thing is like, we want people to consume less, but we want to make more money.
Right.
It's like there's oxymorons with everything that we want to do in our life, and so it's like, but then you see like digital sales of everything that goes up, and so like people will just buy like fake stuff from now on, and we'll just share everything, and it'll be lit. You'll borrow my shoes.
Kyle, I need a turn with the shoes.
My drone will drop it off at your house and be like, "Yo, what up?"
Only one of us can be outside at a time.
Shoe sharing app. It'll be great.
Ooh, shoe sharing app. Schuber.
You see, but you laugh, and now like realistically, like
Wait. All right, let's
up.
go into the business plan of Schuber. Okay, all right. So
now
first
it's gonna
of all,
be like
advertising.
It's gonna be like Uber. So there's gonna be like Schuber Select. So there's gonna be like the people who are like buying like
some nice loafers.
no, it's like gonna be like that like stupid hype beast thing where it's like, dude, we gotta get all the Nikes and like any collabs and like so you'll be having people like I got like $1,000 pair of shoes that I'm just gonna share. Like you're gonna be like sharing Airbnb space with your Jordans.
Okay. Where
And
do
so that would make
Heelys
sense.
fit into the mix?
I don't want to talk about Heelys right now.
Heely.
What?
I don't want
Such
to talk
a
about
weird.
No, we'll get back to the Heelys thing.
So regular shoes would be hourly or daily.
You see, I don't know if
Heelys would still be
Hold
by
on,
mile.
I don't know if you could do it with regular shoes though. It'd have to be like those like limited release.
Well,
things.
I guess-
regular shoes, lower shoes. Like, hey, I got a job interview. I need
we'll
dress
get
shoes.
back to the Heelys. Trust me.
I
But
just
not right
want to know who
It's-
hurt you. What?
It's
What?
no one hurt me. It's just like it's funny that you brought that up, and I don't even know if you know, but we'll
Is
get
it
back to that.
Amber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get back
yes.
to that. Of course.
What?
Yeah.
No, we can't come back to
We're
this. We
gonna
have
come
to
back
tackle
to
it
it.
right now.
No, but I really want to talk about the Schuber shit.
Schuber, we're on
it's
Schuber.
Lit. It's
Okay.
lit. No.
All right, in my
'cause
mind,
now I wanna
Schuber
do
would
this.
only work if this
What's
is just
everybody's pitch?
You have to
This
be,
year's-
okay.
You'd have to be pulling insurance out on shoes, and I don't know if you can do that, but you probably you can insure your shoes for sure, especially if they're like
the mob will insure anything.
Yeezys. I'm pretty sure you can fucking
All
get
right,
like
you
theft
pitch-
insurance for Yeezys
pitch your
and damage.
version of
Okay.
Schuber.
Here's what I thought Schuber would be. So in my mind, the only way Schuber would be a thing is we're in like a dystopian future, and for some reason, no one has shoes anymore, or there's like
It's a select few.
there's a
No,
limited
you just like wear
amount
coating.
of shoes.
Like
yeah.
shoes are whatever. Like you
But
just
like,
use them for like superpowers.
Outside is lava, so the new term of shoe, which is the only useful thing to put on your foot,
anti-lava shoes.
is like some crazy fucking metal shit that withstands very high temperatures. So like to go outside and get groceries, because still grocery stores in this lava earth.
I can dig it.
We need groceries.
You need fucking shoes, but guess what? They're fucking government expense paid, and there's only like 2,000 of them. So you gotta fucking rent and buy your time for getting a pair of shoes.
Logistically, 2000 is pretty low, bro. Like, how many people are gonna be living?
This
That's
is-
why there's Schuber.
This is lava Earth. A lot
But
of
like
people
2000
will be
is
dead.
still low for like anything. We'll go with it. I can dig that. So like your dystopian lava future, that's where Schuber exists.
I mean,
Yeah.
briefly,
Do we think? Are we gonna have apps then? Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, there's grocery stores.
It's just gonna be like an app that's
It's
just
just
like
lava
gonna be like
floor.
it's just gonna be in your brain. It's just gonna like send an impulse like, hey, you should do this. Like, oh fuck, I need to get
I
Schuber.
should buy Schuber.
Everything's normal. It's just lava floor. I was briefly thinking dystopian future, but then I went away from that. Cause
Okay, what is your hot take on Schuber, Matt?
Schuber? And so I was kind of going into it. So like normal shoes, like maybe a guy needs a pair of dress shoes for a job interview.
For sure.
He only needs it for a few hours. He doesn't need to buy the shoes.
That's true.
So it's like Airbnb where you rent it for a certain time.
Oh shit!
But-
do you have a cleaning fee? Do you have like cleaning
Yeah,
service with
there's
it? You have to have a
cleaning
cleaning.
fees,
So that would half the business right there.
racing fees.
He's on it.
But then
He's on it.
Heelys works like regular Uber and it's per mile.
Okay. So you still have
So
to
wait,
like
are you making-
run
So
scuffle,
we're like
scuffle.
genuinely making
fuel.
like a legitimate segment of this app is just going to be Heelys.
Yes.
I can dig
It's
it.
like,
Yeah.
it's like
They'll-
Uber Black. You gotta
They'll
fucking
sponsor it.
Oh,
It's
fuck
okay. It's all good.
Uber.
But I'm thinking, dude, like you can like, I want to do this. I wanna do
Okay,
this.
man.
I
We
clean,
can talk figures,
bro.
alright?
I clean shoes on the reg.
Are you for real?
Yeah. So I got like.
Kyle was just
No,
staring at me intensely.
We can
across
get
the
into
room.
this. So like, if anybody who actually gives a shit about shoes, like you can like clean like if you're like a streetwear
Sneakerheads.
person or yeah, it's like called Jason Mark. They have like it's like a company that sells like cleaning kits, and so like if anybody like who does it, they probably know about it. But like, I got that shit, and I clean my shoes and my hats with it all the time, like religiously.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm damn good at cleaning my shoes. I can keep a shoe like I can keep a pair of shoes looking new for like 4 years.
How about these shoes?
Oh yeah.
How you feeling about these?
Oh yeah.
These need a spit shine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I can make them. I can make them lit.
Yo.
Lit.
Lit. They be shiny and.
I mean,
you'd
you
love
could
'em.
even pair this with the Schuber app.
Oh,
But that's what I'm saying.
This
like,
is for the Schuber
no,
owners.
no. So like,
Right.
so like Jason Mark, they got like
Schuber Elite.
they got a cleaning. They got a cleaning store in LA. Like you can like bring your shoes down, like drop them off like a dry cleaning service, and it's like, but like, other people would want that. You could definitely
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Schuber, bro. Like, I don't know how the hell like you would have like a main office for that, or like who would be delivering this. It had to be drone stuff.
Hell yeah.
Drone, like you like that drone stuff?
Oh, fucking
Drone stuff.
love drones.
So maybe like 5 years from now, you'd have like drones like delivering Yeezys to people. Like, yo,
Yeah.
bro, and it'd be like an LA thing for sure. Like
Oh,
starting
yeah.
off, because like you're nobody from Nebraska is gonna be sharing like.
No, it's too far
Boots.
to fly.
Yeah.
For
From
these
LA.
drones,
Are you
yeah.
kidding me? They can't share shoes with LA
Nebraskans.
kids.
Fucking
And,
like
yeah.
scramjet drone.
Cruise missile.
We'll have your
shoe
shoes to you
delivery.
in like 5 minutes, 3,000 miles away. Like, wait, how?
Yeah.
You know that 50. No, not even 50,000. That probably costs like 500 grand to do that. So I'm just gonna shut up. Schuber. The
Schuber.
future. It's coming. Wait for it.
Coming this fall.
Coming in 7 years. Wait for it. Don't do anything about it. We'll get on it. Trust us.
Yeah. So these are the things.
So
so this is what we're making while the world falls apart. Like,
So
I'm gonna keep coming back to
Your
that.
version of
This is
Schuber.
what we're doing.
Your
while the
version
world
of
falls apart.
Schuber was like a cleaning service, right?
No, it's like sharing like high end, like
Okay, yeah,
limited
it'd be
edition shoes.
That
for,
makes
like,
sense.
for people who like want to go out like
We could
to like a club or like
we could
people who
take our
just don't-
ventures together.
people in LA who like they can't afford it, but they want to like go out and look pretty legit.
Yeah,
Right.
they got to flex on these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all knew where you're going.
We're not going down that. No.
Man, I wish
I am
I
gonna
wish I had an auto tune.
We're gonna change it from
That'd be
like
real good.
weird rap sounds, and we're gonna get back to the Heelys because I would much rather
Okay.
talk about Heelys. So Amber, yeah,
right,
Amber,
Mija.
that is probably one of the weirdest product releases I've ever seen in my life.
Me and Bat were talking about it very briefly, but we were talking like if anyone was gonna fucking put out Heelys, it would have been
In
fucking
2017.
But like, did you really know that she was like about that?
yeah.
What do you mean?
Was she a Heely person before that happened?
She was like healing all
Dude,
over
yeah.
the fucking airports and shit.
Like,
But has it been like, do you think it was like they hit her up, she's been doing it, and then
Maybe.
I don't
like,
know. Is it
maybe.
like
you know
like
it's
it-
got to been going on for like at least 3 to 6 months, if
Well,
not
I mean,
longer,
she-
because to produce a shoe, just
Well,
like all that.
well, yeah,
bull crap.
that too. But
Maybe-
I
year.
didn't know they were official. Are
Like,
they?
What do you mean
Yeah.
official?
Like official Heelys.
Yeah, go to their website.
They're
They have
on the
like a
website.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so
Oh,
dude,
yo.
it's
They're
so
on the
weird.
website.
That's fucking rad.
No, I mean, but she's just been
Beyond
all about.
dope. Okay, wait. Before we like even start this, like,
Oh no, for sure.
Amber's pretty legit. She's doing her own thing. It's cool. It's just random seeing like some of like where marketing goes like through some of
It's
these.
random seeing a signature Healy in 2017.
Well, see, no. So no, what I'm saying is like.
What are you saying, Kyle?
There's a few artists, especially within like electronic music, and she luckily like got like this is like a weird thing because like Heelys was obviously like, kind of like big and like almost like that Jinko kind of like retro thing coming back,
yeah.
and so like they have like some
I hope
weird.
Jinko Jeans don't come from back. Like, God damn it.
It's its
God damn it.
thing. It's its own. It'll be around like 80s wear.
I know.
But
It's all
anyways, it's like a
circle.
trending thing. So like Heelys, like over the past few years, like people just like it's kind of in. It's kind of like the old like 90s 2000 thing, and it's like it's hype.
Yeah.
But seeing somebody from like that kind of genre of like electronic music be the thing that like pushes it,
Man,
and like
I
the
don't even know what genre she's in.
Fuck is genre.
bass weird, yeah, the
oh, nailed it. Oh,
bass
shit.
stuff. The
bass thing.
she's on okay, so like she's on Osla.
She's neo grunge.
but-
Osla.
But like from like where her and like David and like them came from, like
Yeah.
like old school like Arizona raving and stuff, like there was like that
Happy
scene.
hardcore, dude.
Well, yeah, but it
Happy
came,
hardcore, but also like.
but it came from like a scene influence, like so
Just
like
hardcore, yeah,
yeah,
scene.
but it was like an emo scene influence, and like
Yeah.
people made media like that all the time. Like like scene kids did like weird stuff. That's like Jeffree Star, and like he has his own kind of craziness now.
Yeah.
Through like makeup and stuff. My girlfriend watches that. That's crazy seeing that kind of scene thing from like emo days. But like they did like a commercial for the Heelys thing, and like David's
Nice.
doing it, and it's just like it looks like goofy. It looks like those like goofy scene kid videos,
Yeah.
but like
Mhm.
it's a Heelys commercial now, and it's like a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you took Shane Dawson and let him direct.
Yeah.
You guys remember Shane Dawson?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Keep going.
Yeah.
No.
It's just funny seeing like and this is beyond like the Heelys thing and like the marketing thing with like whatever the hell they're doing with that, like just like goofy weird comedy getting into like the mainstream from like Adult Swim, like way back in Tim and Eric, like
Yeah,
Fox
yeah.
does it, and like
Right. It's like awkward core.
awkward core, and like it's extreme, it's kind of
Neo kawaii grunge.
it's
It's fucking great.
well, it's everything.
It's fucking great.
So,
So
like-
like how I describe it aesthetically.
But the aesthetic is so it's like it's all aesthetics kind of combined, and so like that's kind of what like modern digital
Yeah.
like media is. It's just like you can juxtapose anything and combine anything, and if you like you're smart enough, you'll find a connection point, and so it's really interesting watching that. But like watching like it's not reactionary, it's like shock, kind of like shock comedy, but like in like a very like abstract data kind of bullshit
Right.
way. Like
No,
it's
I mean
just-
like for me the main.
it's shock in like weird ways. It's not like yelling at you, but sometimes it's yelling
Zap.
at you.
Like
Shock comedy.
bzz, bzz.
It's like it's anything like that.
Well,
It's
yeah,
just-
one of the main things for me getting Heelys is the absurdity of an adult
Right.
heelying around,
yeah.
getting out of a car, heelying to the door.
And so it's got to be that.
it
has
it's
to be that to sell
No,
it now.
It is that.
And so they're finding all the like the media channels that are doing that are like trendy, and so like
Right.
you have like these whatever it's like music or anything, or like if it's comedy from like Adult Swim-esque kind of like styles of comedy, but like you've seen it like protrude
Alt
you've seen it protrude into
comedy.
like Mountain Dew commercials and like any like
Yeah.
Dorito kind of stuff. Like
Right.
anybody who already does extreme advertising, now they're jumping on like extreme comedy advertising.
Like,
It's very
did you
cr-
see the Vince Staples Sprite commercial?
I don't have cable, so probably not.
Okay, I saw it on YouTube.
I'm on that streaming. Oh, okay, never mind. I'll shut up.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
Do you
You
drink
see a TV in this goddamn place?
I don't drink soda though, so maybe Sprite knows not to.
Oh, yeah. They know not to spend their fucking
I'm
dollar.
on that Arnold Palmer life
Yeah?
and that tea life.
Me and
that-
Matt have been talking for
that-
several years about making a signature drink called the Arson Palmer,
Arson Palmer.
which is it's Arnold Palmer with
Fireball.
Fireball, which sounds terrible, but it's it's funny.
It is funny, but yeah. I mean, it doesn't sound like it would be terribly terrible.
I want to go.
What?
I know where I
go?
want to go now.
Away from here?
No.
Leave?
Like I like my brain.
This
my
is
brain,
Kyle's way
my
of
brain
saying,
had a little.
I'm done.
My brain had a little
Bye-bye.
clicky click, and I can like see from like what we've been talking about, where
Yeah.
I want to go now.
All right, where do you want to go?
I want to go to where you guys. Okay. So this is kind of what I've been thinking about probably for the past like 3 to 6 months, and it's trying to figure out like where this like art style goes from where we're at now. And what I mean by that, like digital culture and like digital media is like everything. Like what we're saying, like everything's kind of like juxtaposed. Everybody's like, you're making fun of retro stuff. It's new, it's neon, it's vintage, it's whatever. Like, but like digital kind of media is just kind of crazy. And especially when you see like what's happening with like streetwear and fashion right now, it's like, it kind of went beyond the black and white stuff. And now it's like kind of like that acid health goth. Everything's like colorful, mixed mashed, kind of like glitchy and techie. You see a lot of glitch art that's really hype. 3D animation and stuff. Everything's like
Buckloads of chromatic aberration.
really colorful, high def.
Like what you're wearing right now, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gorilla's
fucking...
a little like, yeah, that's like kind of like some of the color stuff, but like people are trying to like push the boundaries of like 3D like rendering and stuff, but also trying to do like vintage and like making stuff look like it's all that stuff. You get what I'm saying though? So where do we go from there? Like what's
Well,
after,
we're going to go next.
What's after this clusterfuck of just everything that like kind of like the digital kind of era has brought to us? Like where
Well,
where
I
do
would
you
like
see
to
the next
say I would
flip?
like to say minimal, but
yeah, that's
it's
kind of
not. It can't ever be that kind of dry because it's not one.
But minimal's already in
megalith of design.
See, but like that's
know?
the whole thing is like what I'm saying is like everything's in.
Hey man.
Everything like, but you get what I'm saying? Like everything's in. Minimal's in.
Yeah.
Really crazy, sporadic, glitchy, like epileptic, crazy. Like
Yeah.
That's in as well.
Right.
Colorful's in, black and white's in, vintage in, future's in. So everything's kind of going on at the same time because
Primitive 3D art,
like, yeah, kind of something like that. I don't know.
MoGraph, all that shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, I think the same thing about music more because I'm a musician rather than an artist. Because like we have all these genres that are really meshing together. There's like
Music, I feel though, is like way more in the future than most media.
I don't even know what that means. It's right.
yeah. What does that mean?
It can't be in the future.
No.
Yeah,
like
hold on.
Yeah, I agree
the
with
issue.
him. I just don't know what he means.
Let me go further.
All right.
So with the capabilities of like producing like high resolution like images and stuff like that, there's a lot of rendering power that takes place. Sound design's been around and we've understood kind of like the range that
Are
you
you
can
saying
do.
it's more like accessible?
I think it's a more abstract concept that's less harder to judge, and so I think it's been an easier media that's been pushed further than most other media. Like
You're talking about visuals, or you're talking about art is easier to push?
I think music's easier to push into the future than most other media.
I would disagree.
As a sensory thing, though, like you can make insane music that like still has a good following and like presses like the boundaries of stuff. And then like when you go into video, it takes way more production value to do that than it does with sound design, I think.
Yeah, I guess I would.
This
narrow
isn't
that
trying to like
into-
discredit sound designers at
for
all.
sure.
I just feel like I feel like
Users.
music's had a much more socially acceptable path to go into very weird places that like movies and like other types of sensory like intake that we have hasn't gone. Like gastronomy within food has only been like really recent, but like people have been making really, really, really abstract music for a while, and people have been jamming out to it for a while, and like seeing
abstract in timbre maybe, but
Sure.
like most of the shit you can find is still in the same structure of like musically pleasing stuff. Like you're not like listening to like some avant-garde arrhythmic atonal shit and you're like, whoa dude, that shit is fucking future. You're like,
but like
and
what
that's
I'm
the
trying to
thing
say is like
that sound is highly suggestive.
mm-hmm.
Like when you see a picture of an apple, it's not suggesting that's a fucking apple. It's a fucking apple, right? When you suggest a sound like of a tiger or something, right?
Yeah.
There's only a couple things you have to do to make it not a tiger.
Sure.
To make an image of a tiger not a tiger, you have to do a bunch of fucking shit.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's just the nature of how sound is. It's like it's easy to get away
you can be less judgmental about it because it's not something that's like as offensive because it's
Right.
auditory and it's just like nobody's talking to you. Like if like you see a piece of art or you see something, there's usually more of a message behind something like that, especially if it's spoken word or like
Right.
video or something like, any kind of like, auditory or any kind of like medium like that. Like smell, that's probably like that's a really abstract one.
Smell art. Am I right?
Smell art.
That shit's
Smell
nuts.
art. Dude, I want some smell art.
They used to have smell-o-vision very briefly
no,
in theaters.
I want
That
like
was
legit like
bad.
I want a journey of smell.
I can't
Journey
help it.
from where to where?
Like maybe even if it's like a minute, like a minute of
California to
like a
blue.
symphonic journey of like scent where it just like it like transitions very like fluidly into different things and like you can
Interesting.
That sounds really weird.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the music.
Olfactory art would be wild.
No, we were like talking earlier about like the whole like Tycho thing and like how that's like on Adult Swim, and Adult Swim kind of is, I don't know who's like the main owner of those broadcast stations, but I know Fox owns Adult Swim and Cartoon Network, and so like they'll
Do they
test,
really?
yeah, so they'll test stuff out
That's
on
disappointing.
like FXX is also
Right.
Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, and so like you'll see that they'll test some extreme stuff out on Adult Swim, and if it's good, they might make like a comedy series on FX or FXX, and then if that does good, like all right, now we can bring it into the mainstream of like Fox,
Right.
and then you'll see
Makes
a lot of
sense.
advertising kind of like go along with that. But like what I'm trying to say is like Tycho was on that, and so Tycho's like kind of, he's got like a futuristic, minimal, trippy kind of landscape-esque kind of like soundtrack that he makes, and it's very like cohesive in terms of like the sounds that he does, and like
Yeah.
that's very ambient and dreamy and weird. But like you couldn't make like I don't know, like I'm thinking like maybe like a sci-fi series that had that like kind of like next otherworldly kind of thing, because it would make people feel weird.
Right.
You couldn't watch a show about like that, the kind of feelings that you have that you can get with music, especially if they took into the same context. Like I'm talking,
Well, you could. I think you buy into music a lot easier because it's like math,
yeah,
right? Like it's just ratios.
it's so much easier to take in. So that's what I'm saying. We're all agreeing that
yes, man.
it's way more easy.
After I said
to
the word
ingest
ratios, Matt just shot me a look like, yeah.
It's way more easier to ingest music, and so because of that, we've allowed music to evolve further because we want a lot of it really fast, and because like it's one of the biggest types of media because it's the easiest accessible. There's been a lot of music made that's just gone way, way further, and so I think just like in terms of content and creation, it's probably like the biggest thing that's being pushed right now is music.
I can see that.
It's the easiestly accessible thing that you can have like on the background to like your entire day. You can't have like you can have video going background, but you have to pay attention to it. Music,
True.
you just
I mean,
have,
but it's still audio.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's hard to go about your day while just every now and again taking a look at a picture.
Sure.
It's
Right.
not like listening to your iPod while going to work or doing whatever.
Yeah.
but it's like
Alternatively, it's far easier to get someone to look at a piece of art than to listen to a song.
Yeah.
but I would say that it's harder to get somebody to really get interested in psychedelic art compared to like a really trippy type of music.
Word. Yeah. Shit, what was I going to say about
But that's what I'm trying to say is like music can be really weird, and just depending on the person, because there's no like context to really how they like have to judge it, because it's like this thing that just happens in their head, and it's not like it's a less judgmental in terms of like what you like and like what other people think
Right.
you like. You like people just want to like listen to music, and it's a very personal thing that you don't really give a shit about what anybody else listens to. Like if you like it, you're gonna like it, and
Yeah.
I've found that regardless of hate on any level, people are gonna listen to what they want.
Yeah.
Compared to like TV. TV is very of much like a social kind of phenomenon. Like everybody wants to watch Game of Thrones and everybody wants to be on the same page.
Right.
Music, not everybody's on the same page unless it's like really mainstream. But I think music has gone a little bit beyond only mainstream, and there's a lot more avenues for a lot of different types of music to get out rather than like a million types of like media.
Yeah. I mean, going back to what you said about the production value difference that you need to create with, like, say, film versus music.
Mm-hmm.
Music, you can create a realistic world, whatever you want to classify that as, if it's an actual soundscape and like ambience and shit, or like, you know, some sort of melodic induced harmonic shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is like oh yeah, I totally know what I'm talking about in my brain, but I've never really oh yeah, let me describe
the
this.
jargon of this. Do you not know your lexicon of word usage for your music theories, Mr. Willett?
It's not even music theory. It's more.
No, I know.
Well, it's kind. I think I might get what you're saying. Like, music on a very simple level is less dimensional, maybe, than film or.
Well, almost by definition.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It's only one dimension. It's time.
Yeah.
I think we can clearly see that's probably the easiest thing for people to get into now.
Right.
In terms of if you want to make something and be like a creator, music.
For sure.
I think
video
it's
is
very enthralling, but it's also very subconscious.
Yeah.
Art can be that way too. You're just staring at it, and then shit comes out at you. But
I was watching some Forbes video, and some dude with way too much money was talking about how music was the easiest kind of market to get into and the easiest way. It's the easiest type of media. Nah, it was just some
guy
stupid Facebook Forbes thing, and it was somebody who worked for some company who had way too much money who's yeah, music's pretty much where you want to go right now.
Yeah.
Just because in terms of it's the easiest access, you can get it out fastest. It's just there's not a lot
even in terms of not making a compelling piece of art. It's
you can't
making a banger.
You can't make a blockbuster movie inside your freaking parents' basement.
No.
You can make one of the best albums in the world though inside your parents' basement.
It's true.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's pretty much it. It's the easiest way to do that, and so you get more of it.
Yeah, that's pretty concise. You should have opened with that.
No, because
I think we hit that. No, I think we hit that. It more or less is the accessibility to either listen to it or to make it.
Yeah.
Which has advanced it so far.
I think we went all the way around it.
We tap danced.
We did it, guys.
Right around, and we got to the end of it. We have solved all the problems.
Yeah, all the problems are gone.
But no, I mean, beyond that, I'm still kind of curious about where that next level goes, where all this is kind of heading, where
Well, I think it was interesting that we had the whole future bass thing, right? And that started from DJ Shadow playing some fucking quote unquote too future music at some club that he got kicked out of.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole thing in 2013. This club booked him. He fucking plays, and then the crowd I think was digging it, but they kicked him out because the sound was fucking whack. And then he took to Twitter and he was like, yeah, I guess I got kicked out for being too future. And then the term future took the fucking music industry by goddamn storm.
I'm not talking about music. I'm talking about
I'm talking about music now.
Okay.
God damn it.
All right. I was just getting back to the whole digital, whatever the hell we're at right now.
Right.
But yeah.
But that's an interesting thing because once everyone once everyone gets a hold of future as a title that or an adjective that they want to achieve, you start getting into some paradoxical shit because as soon as you create future music, it's past music.
Where do you go from future? So that's kind of what I'm trying to get to. In pretty much a lot of media is we've been looking at the future, everything's going to be cool and techy. Well, now it's kind of showing up.
Right.
And people are
it's rearing its head in a couple places.
And people are maybe I don't want the future because it's oh yeah, it's here. And it's kind of trippy because internet and technology and drones and robots are pretty crazy. It's well, yeah, but that's no shit. And so
that is not the intense shit that's going to happen. That's the menial shit.
So the novelty of what future is kind of gone. And I think that's kind of what we don't have anything that really designates what this time period is beyond shit's getting techie. The 90s had a thing, the 80s had a thing, but ever since we kind of got out of that and hit that new millennium, it's kind of just been whatever the hell's going on. And it's not really the 2000s was a thing. Not 2000 really wasn't a thing. Lots of stuff has been happening, and it's kind of every year, it keeps getting faster. And
Moore's Law, man.
Well, a year is a thing now.
Right.
Or a month is a thing.
Yeah.
It's not an entire decade.
Right.
So everything keeps going faster and faster.
At the end of 2016, we denounced 2016. We're done with that year. A year was a sufficient span of time.
That it used to be God, that century sucked.
Right.
We were in a war for 100 years.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think anyone said, God, that century sucked, because who the fuck would say that shit?
Nobody. They weren't living for that long back then.
No.
So
Yeah, century.
But no, like
I don't even think they would say decades. Man,
I'm saying, like,
oh, thank God we're done with that decade.
oh bullshit! No, coming out of the 80s and 90s, people look back and they're like, no, like thank God we're out of the fucking 80s.
You might be right.
Especially the 90s.
For
coming
sure.
into the 2000s, there's like a very
Okay, well that's
clean,
like a
But that's what I'm saying. Like after we had like the Y2K thing, it's like we're in the 2000s, we're in the future now. But
Right.
like it's not. Nobody really cares, and so everybody's trying to go back. I feel
wait. We're trying to go back
we're trying to go
to
back.
the future.
No, we're just trying to go back.
yeah. It's
The
backwards.
future keeps happening, and like
To
a lot
the
of people are getting freaked out about it, and so I think a lot of people want to go back to old novelty, which is like.
So kids, Marty.
But this is like why I'm saying
Something's
like
got to be done.
this is why I think like people are trying to like do like vintage feels. Like okay,
Yeah.
well like everything's HD now, and like it doesn't have like an appeal. Everything's just a little bit better, and it's just like a number. Like iPhone comes out, nobody really gives a shit anymore because it's just like they just doubled numbers across the board, which is dope.
Impossible magic piece of glass. So you have no idea how it's made by looking at it.
Yeah,
And like we crave that, like you crave the artifacts of
we
how it
needed
was
like
built.
the new, and it's got to be different. And it's like it's more like a computer now, where it's just like okay, we're upgrading the system.
Yeah.
And like I
Right.
get that, especially on like a sales side, like that's cool, whatever. Like, and so like I can see the 8 or whatever, the 10 or whatever, and I can appreciate because like okay, they double the frame rate of like how fast they can do like slow mo and stuff like that. So like I can get that. It's more like a nerdy thing in terms of like it's just stats now. It's
Yeah.
not like the new game changer because it takes a lot of social like acceptance to really like kind of push stuff to like, that degree.
I mean, they fucking sold the Apple Watch. And what the fuck does that do, dude?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, programmed obsolescence is just like it's the name of the game now, and so they have to figure out some way
Yeah, I know.
to sell it. And the
that sucks.
deal is they sometimes will not nail it
Yeah,
because there won't be anything that's new.
but like getting back to like how fast things are
Necessary.
like going, it's just like things just keep getting better in numbers, and like nobody really gives a shit about like, oh well, like my thing uses less battery power, or it can go at like an extra frame rate. Like most people, like consumers, they don't care. It's not like unless you're like a creator or somebody who's like really into it, it's like not a big thing. And so like that future kind of aspect of things continually getting better, it's just like things are just refining themselves more and more
Right.
now. It's not like there's not like a lot of different. It's just like, okay, we've set the standard of what we want to do, and now we're just gonna like refine it in different ways to like minimize its like effect or maximize its effect on your life.
Right.
And so it's like we're not going to get flying cars. We're just going to get automated vehicles, and then they're
Right.
just going to get
like
faster.
there's a reason why everyone is like, oh, be an innovator and not a fucking inventor. It's because there's nothing to invent anymore.
Right.
I mean, there's still like
No.
you have to have a lot of money. You have to have a lot of money.
I mean,
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it's to invent like something different.
yeah, it's
Way
just
different.
innovated, you know? It's just like make it a little bit better.
What's the
Make it
like
a little bit,
weirdest thing that you
cooler.
guys have seen in the past like 2 to 3 years in terms of like technological like innovation?
Weirdest.
Just like the most like impactful like that you didn't think was going to happen.
I kept feeling like this. I mean, really anything fucking Elon Musk does, but specifically the fucking Hypertube or whatever it's fucking called.
Hyperloop is pretty
Hyperloop.
loop.
Like I kept hearing about it. I'm like, right, but no, like
I
that
mean,
isn't
it's
going to happen.
It's probably like the best thing. I would agree in terms of hype, but in terms of like social change, like I hate to say it, but like hoverboard
yeah.
or drone, I would say is probably
I
like the
guess
biggest like
drone.
in terms of like affecting like your day to day
Okay,
life.
drone as in how? Like a quad rotor or like
drones.
just drones?
Because like 5 or 6 years ago, everybody was like screwing around with like the remote control like dinky helicopters that like Brookstone sold.
Yeah.
They couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
They were just like little dinky helicopters. And then like the drone thing kind of like came in, and now.
But partially it's just the control system. The technology was there. It's not even that. It's the high level control that is
Yeah.
what.
It's the small cameras. It's everything. It's everything that what a drone can do. It can
Right.
it can elevate production level of a lot of different things, and a lot of people can screw around with it. But like it affected a lot of people because like they can go and like check stuff out, and it like affects privacy and all that stuff. And then
Social change.
hoverboards is just like next level laziness. It's like that idiocracy thing where it's like, oh, okay, there it is. It's rear. You want to talk about something rearing
It's what
its
plants
head.
crave.
Idiocracy is here, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Fidget spinners.
Fuck me.
It was something interesting because it's like
Put
people are
some
trying.
plastic on some bearings, and you got yourself a revolution.
God,
Like, who could have fucking predicted that shit?
the bearing industry, dude, is loving their lives right now.
Yeah, dude.
Anybody who just like, I want to know, like, because like you think like the video card industry is freaking out because of like Bitcoin mining and like just, but like the bearing industry,
The
bro.
bearing industry, dude. That's where it's at.
Those fools made millions, billions.
All right,
like
all right.
bearing industry.
Pitch 2 of the podcast. Can we make some sort of currency based on the bearing market, or like a select number of certain diameter bearings?
It's like skateboard bearings. That's all they are.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, they're in a lot of things. They're in a lot of like mechanical equipment and like tools and shit like that.
But now they're in fidget spinners.
So
But now they're in fidget
primarily.
spinners. It's like, did the bearing market go up? Like, if you go look at bearing stocks, is that like skyrocketed?
Fucking man, I don't even know.
I want to know.
I want to know.
Tiny balls in oil. Let me know about that shit.
Sometimes not even oil. Like,
But it's like, it's funny. Like, I can only imagine there's like just like industries that are going to shit, and they're like, let's bring a millennial in, figure out some random shit we can make with all this stuff that's becoming obsolete, please. Oh, it's a trend. Woo!
well, here's your fucking problem. It's not lit, dogs.
You need to make it lit. It needs to go.
Yeah,
But
you need
so-
to spin.
So get back to that. That kind of like stupid, like lit level, like weird mindset. That's where like marketing's going, dude.
Yeah,
Like that's like
because that's where the kids are at.
so like what happens when that's like what marketing is for like 50-year-olds? Like, yo, dude, get lit on this pharmaceutical
Well,
that's gonna give you all
AARP.
these things. But like, don't trip, fam. It might not happen. It's pretty cool though. Like me and my friends, like we take
There's
this like
no way
antidepressant. It's
that-
tight.
The slang evolves so quickly that there would never stay in a generation.
True that.
Like,
It's gonna be weird because like slang evolves way faster because of like text talk.
Yeah.
I like
the internet.
there's like
Internet.
linguistics who like research that, and it's just like, everything kind of seems like we're getting really dumb with how we talk, but guess what? That's how our language is evolving right now.
Yeah, it always has.
Like
from the very beginning.
memes are like that's the pinnacle of the whatever language. I don't even know that's like a language. That's like some universal stuff, which is cool though. Like
Yeah.
emojis are like kind of bringing in like a really dumbed down.
Hieroglyphs.
Yeah, I could kind of see like that's where it goes in the future. It's just like English and hieroglyphs, which is just like, we have 10,000 icons. You just have to think it and it'll show up, and then everybody will know what you're talking about. Like,
Yeah,
Thought
Yeah.
emojis. Thought emoji.
I don't know.
Your phone
Thought
can
emoji.
your phone can read your mind. It's all good.
Are you still a dumb piece of shit moving your mouth flaps? Get Thoughtmoji and speak to your friends with your brain.
Straight up. And like we laugh
Cut
about
to kid with fidget spinners.
the thing about it though is like we laugh at this shit, and like that shit really might happen.
Of course.
Yeah.
It really might, and it's just like it's just different because like whether you look at it from like a negative or positive, that's really whatever. And like the universal kind of concept of like how we evolve, it's really irrelevant. So we could get down to that level, and that's just like some dudes are like tinkering with like shit in the background, and everybody is just like floating around in like anti-grav suits with fidget spinners, like thinking up dumb stuff like, I want to think of food. Ooh, it's in my belly now. Woo!
Yeah. I mean, at a certain point, we're all just going to be plugged into some sort of World of Warcraft virtual reality, and we're not going to leave
So how-
the
okay,
fucking Earth. And
so
we're
if
going to
that's
have
what you-
robots
wait.
that take care of us and clean us, and then we're all going to fucking plummet into extinction.
So if that's the thing, how long do you think your job's gonna last?
What do you mean, my job?
How long?
No one's going to have a job.
Okay, it's exactly. How long do you think, like, as a designer, will last?
I think there's...
How many decades do you think you got left?
Fuck, I don't even know. I don't even...
How long
One-
are you gonna live?
No, not even live.
When do you
like,
want to die, Zach?
like when do you think like sitting on like a computer with like a keyboard and a mouse is gonna become obsolete, and you're just gonna like think shit? Like I'm
20
just gonna.
years.
like,
I
I'm
think
gonna-
we got 20 years on
20.
for
You think
computers.
20? Like,
Yeah.
because like that's like this is like I've always wanted it to be this, where it's like I can just like have like something on my head and have some gloves and just like I want this logo to appear.
Here's the thing. It's not going to be anything involved with you. There's no reason for it to be. It's going to be a series of algorithms governing algorithms, creating shit.
But like you already have like you already got the VR, so you can already put the VR headset on. You already have stuff that can already kind of like read your brain waves. So I give it like 5 years to a decade before it's like, I thought of this logo. Bing, there it is in like VR land. And then you're like, oh, I want it 3D. Okay, so I have a 2D.
It maps it out in fucking ZBrush.
And you're just like, every time you click, it saves. Like, okay, save that. Save that.
Why
save
even do that though? You could just think the muscle that is click and then it would do it, or just think.
Okay, so
save.
like, let's say
That'd
that's
be real cool to click.
Okay, so let's say we got
Tactile.
let's say we got like 5 to 10 years for that. Like, how long do you think? Like,
What?
maybe 15 years left of like actually sitting in front of a computer or like fucking with a computer and actually like designing.
The way we interface with computers doesn't make any fucking sense to begin with.
Sure,
so
I get it's like it's kind of outdated.
You have to train like several lower levels of control to a higher level, which, like, for example, if you're like, I want to walk over there, right, in real life, in real people's life, you think just walk over there. You don't think, all right, first slacken left foot, okay, shift weight this amount of degrees, okay, pivot, okay, move leg, all right, so extend leg, all right, plant foot, balance foot.
I get
right?
what you're trying to say.
You have high level controls, not low level controls, right?
Sure.
So for this to come back around to the design type of thing, it's like once you're there, it's going to be such a, like, the word computer isn't going to make any fucking sense because it's going to be a fucking ubiquitous simulation that you just live your entire life out in.
So how long do you think it is till we get there?
I don't know, it's like 20 years.
You think it's 20?
I think it's 20.
Okay.
I don't think it's less. For sure.
I think we just need to base all of this entire, everything that you do, we're just going to bet it all on that. Like, when do we stop, like, giving a shit about making stuff because we don't need to anymore? Or what what do you think you're gonna make?
The thing is, you're gonna make in because like I'm not gonna stop creating because there's not a need, because there's not a fucking need now. Like, no one's like, Zach, create shit. I need it. I create because I enjoy the process of creation.
Sure. What do you think you're gonna make in 20 years?
I don't fucking know.
Exactly.
Wow, you did me. You got me, Matt. I'm down.
But that's all I'm saying is, like, I have no idea what I'm going to be making in 10 to 20 years. I have no idea.
I mean, I don't know what I'm going to make next week, so.
But you know what format you're going to make it in.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know.
Like, I don't know if a website's going to exist. I don't even know if you're going to need a brochure. Like, maybe, like.
Fuck, man.
Logos?
Going to the market on brochures.
Like, what if a logo is just, like, a thought? Like, oh, we're just going to, like, implant this feeling into your head. That's our branding.
And then they're going to have, like, thought architects and shit. Like, it'll get substantially higher level into, like, design will evolve, because there's still going to be, like, very select jobs that will need design in very broad sense, you know, like
something. Dude, I don't.
Matt. Yeah. And
keep going.
All right. So Kyle, you got any good stories?
No, but dude, like, that's like
no,
this shit is all that's on my mind lately. Is like, where are we gonna go? What's kind of the next step, and like trying to get there.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say, like, oh, this is obviously the next step. We have a choice as humanity,
like, VR,
to do it or not,
like,
but we're gonna fucking do it.
I think VR is like definitely the next level of
money
like create. Well, it's like the next level of like creation in terms of like what you can do, and in terms of environment, it's taking a lot of stuff that like music and visuals and 3D. It's taking all that and putting it in front of you, like right there. Yeah. So like I get that, but I don't know. Like, beyond the
I don't think there's anywhere to go with other medias. It's just new ways to experience the medias you have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's true. I mean, I really think VR is going to be a destination sort of deal. I don't think it's going to be a at-home thing, at least for a while, because the amount of shit that you need right now is like substantial. You could just go to fucking Disneyland and ride on a fucking VR ride, or get in their VR workshop, or whatever the fuck.
You know, 5 years from now, like, every video game console is gonna have like a VR. Everything's gonna have it. The next
You might be
PlayStation, Xbox, and whatever the hell Nintendo
I mean, that's the thing, though.
you're gonna have VR.
I think there's limits to a certain extent because we saw motion control come and fucking leave because no one gives a shit about standing up and like moving their arms
because
around.
they didn't have a headset on.
I guess so.
Now that you have a headset on, everybody wants it.
I don't know. Humans fucking hate exercising, man. They fucking hate it.
Yeah, so that's the whole
They
thing.
hate any work.
The laziness of humanity compared to like the actual motion required for VR.
Right. I mean, like, that's what games are. It's like,
Everything's a game, though.
do with
Everything's a game.
Yeah.
Like, if you can like make like working out a game, people would put a VR thing on to like, oh, I'm in like a magical paradise, but like I'm getting cardio.
Well, I mean, they did that with Wii Fit for a while.
Right.
And it kind of had like a little bit of an influence, but it wasn't the demographic that really video gaming was. There's
Right.
people who got into it for sure.
Right.
But it wasn't
They sold some.
video gamers. It was their parents.
No. And like it's definitely gone. It's
Yeah.
for sure gone. Like they didn't bring anything over to the Switch. So like I get what you're saying there, but VR is like that goes well beyond what Wii did or PlayStation Move or like
right. But I don't know. I guess.
Well, the other thing was just how janky all that shit was. The Kinect
True.
was janky as shit.
it's not that janky no more.
Right.
It's true. I mean, motion
It's,
control is pretty
it's
good
less
now.
janky, so it's easier to do.
Are you ready for VR? Do you want to design with it? Like are you trying to get
I
into
think
it
it'd
at
be
all?
cool. I don't know. I would have to figure out like game
It's a good amount of
design
investment for
first.
sure. Well, see, like, but there's a bunch of other things you can do beyond just game design. 3D design, like
You can do 3D design.
you've seen people doing like a daily, and then he just
Oh.
pops it into like a
I
360
guess
view.
I really have no interest in doing like
Why?
panometric stuff.
You don't want to have a
Why?
VR fucking concert with Cubed?
Not really.
What about like a 3D environment? It's just a big old 3D dick that you designed.
You're
And you get to walk around it.
You're telling me like if you didn't have like the
Environment.
capabilities to like 3D render like the coolest kind of like environment that you can imagine, and then like create whatever cool stage that like completely perfectly matches whatever your brand is for like Cubed,
Right.
and like you can make it like whatever the heck you want, like the craziest
Yeah.
thing that's all about you. You wouldn't like do that and then like live broadcast that onto like something like Twitch or whatever the hell that is in the future for like people to come in and be like, holy crap, this dude like designed all of this, and then he's making the music and he's doing something live right
It
now.
got a
feels like
point.
some. I don't know.
VR concerts.
It feels
dude.
very.
VR concerts are
I've.
coming.
I don't know.
You live stream. You already live stream.
I've
so
seen Reggie Watts and do a fucking VR concert, and like I wasn't VR in it, but I watched a YouTube video screen capture of
Okay,
the
but
whole thing.
right now you're trying to do live streams already. So what if you have the
Yeah.
capability to like, well, maybe I just want to like listen to your podcast or listen to your live stream, but at the same time, maybe I want to like watch it on my computer screen or watch it on my TV screen, or maybe I want to go beyond that and like pop my VR headset on and like I want to be at your concert, and you can experience it on like 5 or 6 different levels.
I don't know.
And
I
it's
guess I don't
seamless.
see
And
the
it's seamless.
how it improves the experience.
Synergy seamless.
You know, because you have. For me, the selling point of a concert is you got physical meat bodies in a space, and you got physical sound waves going
Well,
through
yeah,
your
I mean,
fucking body.
I'm not saying
Sub pack.
concerts won't go
I don't know.
obsolete, but this is another.
Right.
You will
portal
have a
to
full body
experience.
physical experience VR suit in, I would give that a decade.
I
You'll
don't
have-
think a concert type scenario is, you know.
But I'm talking about like extra sensory more so than you can even imagine that you could ever experience like at a concert. Something that's like well beyond what you could do like in like physical reality. But that you can like design in a 3D environment.
Fly around.
No, like way more of a visual experience. Obviously we're talking about like
Freebird and people are flying.
no, but we're talking about like an extreme visual experience that you can get well beyond like LED screens or like a cool like design stage. I'm talking about like it's on a completely another level, like where your stage design, your music, and like the VJing kind of going on within
Right.
your VR experience.
I guess
is,
at
like,
that point, it's like, why would it be that? Why wouldn't it be just like a film? You know, why wouldn't it be some sort of other narrative experience?
see, but that's the whole thing. So, like, you know Jason Silver, right?
No.
Yeah.
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 Like
Who?
Moments of Awe and all that stuff. He did like
Yeah.
brain games. So he talks about like what VR he thinks what he wants VR creators to do is pretty much like we've had film and we have all these things that like kind of dictate and like showcase our human kind of reality.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what VR should be is a platform for us to go well beyond that,
right,
into like that next digital kind of like technotopia kind of craziness.
Technotopia.
Like without having
Welcome to Kyle.
No, but it's like, you know, as like we progress into the future, like we're not going to do a whole lot. We're going to try to like hopefully like fix our crap on the planet, but through VR we can push stuff to like a sensory experience that's well beyond this that we can do here. And so why not?
I mean, are you talking about
pushing the boundaries of like
Are you talking about
levels.
straight up needle jack into the back of your brain VR, or are you talking about like straight up Oculus Rift VR? Because
Not Oculus, 'cause
Oculus
that
Rift
sucks.
for no, I mean, but like, yeah, no, straight
Vive.
just like, let's say like,
but Vive.
we'll keep it like you got your VR like goggles, your headset, you got like maybe a sub pack to like kind of feel whatever your environment is. But I'm talking about like the visual state of that is like on a completely another level. Like, you know, you see like crazy like psychedelic or abstract or crazy 3D rendering stuff that goes on in visuals, like being in that. It's like around you and it's like real in terms of like how realistic it looks. Something that you couldn't.
I guess I don't fucking.
Something
I don't
you
know.
couldn't do in like an actual concert format.
That doesn't fucking butter my muffin, you know.
I know.
I guess I don't know. I don't see it. I don't really see it. VR certainly, just not in a like weird, you know, come to this virtual space and I'm gonna play a music playing visual thing. Woo-hoo.
Well, it might not mean
You know?
like disregard like even if it's the music concert, but like VR is going to push the boundaries of like visual experience for sure.
Right. So
Why not just add music to it?
well, yeah, you could,
Well, yeah, there's gonna be fucking music. Why not?
Okay.
but would you consider
That's not like
making
the highlight of
making those environments, making like a 3D experience for someone?
I mean, I don't know. I think it would be
What do
cool
you-
to be like.
Where do you want your like kind of creative evolution to go?
Fuck you.
Yeah, you
I have
bitch.
no idea. I have no idea. I mean, like, there's something cool about like recreating physical spaces. Like, I just wrapped up the like rough modeling of Barsmith.
I saw that.
Downtown.
It was cool.
And that was cool.
It looks way cooler than it should.
Wow.
Like then
it's
like in terms of
not
like, but
close.
imagine like
Imagine if you could walk around that.
in terms
Right,
of like
that
the
would be pretty
minimalism,
neat.
like the color schemes
That's
that
what
you
I'm-
have for
that's
like
what I'm
that black
talking
and
about.
white.
Yeah.
I wish it looked like that.
Me too.
So, yeah, exactly. Like you could make physical spaces that people either have been or can go, and just make them fucking monochrome.
Well, I'm talking about
Or
like you've seen
the
like what they're doing with like roller coasters now with
space.
VR. Like SeaWorld has like a VR experience with roller coasters, which completely makes sense.
Right.
A roller coaster is like you're on tracks, you're going through a thing, but like the visual experience, like I'm up high,
Yeah.
cool.
Right.
Throw VR into that, you're underwater, you're in space, you're everywhere. And so that's what I'm saying is like, you know, okay, I go to a concert venue, like tight. It's like it's that augmented reality. It's like pushing the boundaries of things, and so
Yeah.
like I think that's like, I think we're gonna have a sensory overload. We already do in terms of information, but like visual stimulation is gonna go extreme.
I think what's cooler, and we already have it, is fucking directional sound and shit. They had
3D
an
sound and stuff like
installation.
that?
Fucking, it's a 16 by 16 grid of omnidirectional speakers, and then 16 subwoofers in the floor, all laid on a grid, and then they basically I forget who exactly was performing at this place, but they basically take a bunch of like stems, basically. So like the violin fucking whips through the air and is like orbiting the fucking place, and it's like, that's fucking neat. We need to do more of that shit.
Oh yeah.
And like the strings fucking
It's
fade through
it
the
just
air.
it takes a lot to make that into an industry, and so like
Right.
I get why you're saying like it might be hard to like bring that. So like at home, like people will have VR rooms. I think people will like their office will become a VR room at one point,
Yeah,
where it's like your computer is like your entire room.
the holodeck. I mean, that's what's gonna fucking be. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like walking in a room. You're like,
That I can
show
see
me.
20 years before you have a holodeck room
Cool.
for sure.
Cool. Me personally. All right.
Cool. I'm
Yeah.
waiting. I'm waiting for that.
Right on.
I think you'll have that. It'll be dope.
You have any good stories?
Do you have any good stories?
Yeah.
Holodecks and computers.
Just whatever. Just anything that comes to your mind.
Just the computers I've been working on.
How about like wacky escapades?
Wacky? No.
Like high school fucking.
I don't get into no.
Oh, all right.
I was a deviant in high school, so
Right.
I like
Get
really,
into it.
I had
Perfect.
really wacky escapades.
Just pick
Perfect.
one. All right. Do you remember the time you laughed the hardest?
No.
This is a question that Pete Holmes on his podcast. It doesn't have to be the hardest, just a time that
Probably
you
some-
laughed.
Like a time
Really
that you were
hard.
laughing and you're like, holy shit,
Sure,
I
like-
might die.
There's been times but I think the biggest laugh fits I had was like before I was like 10 years old.
Okay.
Like as like a little kid, just like giggling your ass off to the point where like your stomach like hurts, but like you're too young and dumb to like really know what to do about it, so you just keep laughing, and it
laughing.
like goes on for like 10
This
minutes.
is great.
Yeah. So like I've had that, but like high school, no. High school was weird.
No.
High school.
Where'd you go to high school? You went to
North, PV. So like I was in
Yeah.
North Phoenix. It was
Right.
fun. Like high school was dope. I mean, that's where I got into design and stuff, and like
Right.
took some drugs and shit. And
Like as
I
much
thought
as
you were gonna say
everybody rags.
classes, but
no,
Well, that's a
like,
given.
Classes
Does he have to say
sucked.
that?
took some drugs.
Like everyone.
I
rags on high
experimented with
school.
the psychedelics in high school, and
Yeah.
I got into creation and shit. But
Creationism? Yeah, me too.
no. But that's kind of like what got me into like that
Right.
whole thing. But like high school, like I slept a lot.
I slept so much I missed most of my classes.
I
So
would
that
sleep through the bell,
happened.
and I'd be the dude drooling in my my textbook, and like the teacher would
Well, at
wake
least
me
you
up.
got to school.
My
man.
teacher would be like waking me up, like, "Yo, the bell rang like a minute ago." I'm like, "Ah, shit, like I gotta go." And it was like always like the last class, like everybody's like going to the bus. And I'm just, like,
Kyle, the bell rang. What? The
Yeah.
bell rang. Oh shit! I got to go.
Shit, I'm late. Excuse me.
I gotta get to school.
High school is like a weird social experiment, which obviously it is, but it's like
Yeah.
understanding that it's a weird
Yeah.
social experiment while you're into it.
It's like this is basically prison. This is a microcosm for prison.
No, it was tight. Nah, I mean like
Elementary school more so prison.
I understood
school in
like
general.
probably like my
A small.
junior year, like it's chill and there's easy, like I kind of like cheated my way through most stuff. Like
Well, yeah.
it was like to the point where like I could be an honor student, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna be a punk. And like, oh well, you're middle class, like you have fucking, you're fine, like you don't need to be a punk. You're like,
Come
you
on.
don't- like why do you need to be a renegade? It's like, cause
That's exactly why.
fuck you.
Because I feel it in my blood.
And I don't want to be clean cut, and I want my shirts to be ripped. And so like, but then like there was like the really weird like point where like I'm in like honors English in sophomore year, and I have like a mohawk, and like
Yeah.
my book reports about like Dee Dee Ramone, and like people are like, why the fuck are you here right now? Like, what is this? Like, because like these are kids
Why
that
are you
I've,
in this place?
but
in
these
your
are
life?
kids that I've like also gone to school with since like elementary school who like,
Oh right.
and so like
So
like
they saw you not like that.
so so there's like kids who've known me for like 10, 15 years. Like, first of all, why the fuck are you even in honors? And like, second of all, like, what are you doing? Just and so,
Yeah.
high school was weird.
High school is really weird. It's as much as everybody rags on it, it's probably one of the more important things for a human
Yeah.
to go through.
I think certainly just like around that age period.
Right,
it's like,
especially because the age, the people you're exposed to. I mean, college is the same way, but people don't always have access to college. High school is more accessible to people.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
So I mean, you're shoved in this place with a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
And you just got to be around them for 8 hours a day and eat with them and not kill them. And
then you understand the people who are like realizing that, and like the people who are just in it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I don't want to be the person who's in it because like I didn't want to be a part of that.
what do you mean?
Understanding the social dynamics. Most people don't even give a shit to think about that.
Right.
And so like I remember when I was in like high school, and like I'd have like a girlfriend, or I'd be getting in a fight with somebody, and like something would happen. It's like, dude, like I got into the mantra like, none of this shit's gonna matter in 5 years.
Yeah.
Why do I give a fuck? And like people would have like petty shit like, bro, none of this shit's gonna matter in 5 years. Stop giving a fuck.
Yeah.
And it really like made me like understand that like I really shouldn't give a shit about petty things.
Right.
Like, and so like I got over that pretty quick. So that was a good
That's
thing.
like the smallest nugget of optimistic nihilism possible. It's like none of this fucking matters, dude. Just fucking.
It's
get
not even
over
that
it.
none of it matters. It's just like in terms of like their big scale life,
But
some petty thing
how
that they
big
have.
can your big scale
this,
life
yeah,
in?
this thing won't matter.
This thing won't matter.
It's not like nothing matters. It might, but
Like if you
It
this
might
break,
not,
definitely
but this
doesn't.
definitely.
if you
does
break up
not.
with Tiffany, like in
Tiffany?
10 years.
Tiffany
Yeah, I know.
shit, man.
Fucking Susie, like in 10 years.
For Susie? Whoa.
Like
I
people
don't even think Susie's a real name.
there was just like yeah.
Only exists in
in the 80s.
hypothetical
I think
scenarios.
Susie's existed in the 80s.
yeah, it stopped
Did
existing.
you know? Because it's Suzanne. Who the fuck named their kid Suzanne?
Right, it's yeah.
My great grandmother.
I knew
It's like one of those generic names that you just use, but like, you know.
I knew like a handful
I-
of Bryans in
I
high
know
school.
some Susies?
I have a grandmother, Suzanne.
Suzanne.
But like, you don't know
She's
Susie.
a grandmother.
But you
yeah.
don't know Susie. Do you know a Susie your age?
I don't know. I don't know a single Susie.
Exactly. I don't know either. I don't.
Like I knew a handful of
Like
Bryans.
I don't
in
know
high
a
school.
fucking Margaret.
But Brian,
a-
Brian sounds like it just sounds like an
'cause
adult
you don't-
name to me.
Like Maggie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways,
Or
like,
like Jebediah.
all that shit would be happening, and like people would be like just doing dumb stuff, or like people would be like freaking out about like really petty shit. And it's like, dude, like you're gonna be like married and have like 3 kids and 10
Or not.
years.
You might
Dude,
be dead.
You might peak this year, all right?
Yeah,
Just
and-
fucking.
True that. So okay, sorry to the people who peaked those years, and I was telling them like, fuck your peak years, bro. It's gonna be better, and then it just
and
didn't.
it didn't.
Yeah.
Well, that's their fault.
Sorry, guys.
They spent all their charisma points in high school.
Yeah.
You're supposed
Fucking
to. You're
shit
supposed to build
strategy,
your
dude.
charisma points. I don't know.
They were like, nope, got to use it. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. And then
Oh, they're cooking.
everybody wants to go back to it too.
Yeah.
I
A little
don't.
bit.
No part of me wants to go back. 2000s were chill. Like playing WoW was tight, and like the world wasn't like as like exposed to how crazy everything was.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't exposed out. It was still
This
crazy.
is fucking crazy.
Everything was still just as
but
crazy.
you didn't know,
Yeah.
so it's the
It's
same.
fine.
See, like,
It's the
and
same
that
as
was
it
the
not
funniest
being
part is, like,
crazy.
the first time, like I remember, like I watched Zeitgeist when I was like 16. I'm like,
The documentary.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, my entire world's flipped upside down. But like, you're the only one who knows. And so like, you got to like just deal with like your depression by yourself.
Yeah.
But now the entire world's dealing with that. Is it better or worse?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know
know.
either.
I don't fucking
But
know.
like, everybody's on that Zeitgeist level now.
Yeah,
I feel it.
it's true.
I don't know what the fuck is up. It's cool. It's all good.
It's fine.
It's
That's
fine.
fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all good. What time is it? Is it late? Oh,
Probably later.
shit.
It's 11.
All right. So to wrap it up, this is a regular segment. It's called 30-second movie pitch. All right. It's where you have 30 seconds to convince me, a wealthy film producer, to produce your movie, and you have 30 seconds.
He goes first.
Matt's gonna go first. All right. You got 30 seconds on the clock. How we did it in last podcast is we'll do everyone's gets around. And then we'll go around, and then we'll do one commutatively, a new one, and then so we add on it. So Matt will start, and then Kyle will add on it, and then I'll add on it, and then we'll go.
Wait,
around. All right.
actually, I kind of want to go first.
You can go first.
Okay, Kyle, are you ready? I'm a fucking bigwig, all right?
Okay.
You better be in my office for a goddamn reason, kid.
Hell yeah.
Okay, that was pretty intimidating. Are you ready?
Hell yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so everybody's learning about psychedelics and the world's getting crazy, and like this dude realized that DMT is death, and like you're experiencing death, and so like the technology is getting crazy that like it's kind of like this Lucy kind of aspect where
Okay.
like everybody's like getting crazy smart, but it's through VR, and so like now you can experience psychedelic trips through VR headsets, and so people can experience death through VR headsets, and now they understand what death is, so nobody's afraid of dying anymore. But now everybody's realizing that they're not afraid of dying, so everybody's killing themselves, and now the world has
That's
to
it.
figure out okay.
And so it just
That's a
unravels.
bleak- that
it
is
just
a
fucking
Bleak
unravels.
ending.
I thought you were gonna do. And this summer, Brad Pitt is the man who has to turn it all around.
No, everybody's got to like.
This summer, you do the hokey pokey.
What's
and turn
what's
yourself
that
around.
movie where like it's an M Night Shyamalan thing where like the plants start killing everything? But you know what I'm saying? Like it's like
happening.
The Happening. It's like
Marky Mark is in that movie.
think about like The Happening, but like everybody realizes like what death is, and everybody can experience it, but they don't have to experience it, and so like nobody's afraid of it. So everybody starts like killing each other to like get to the other side, but like everybody figures out.
This summer, why did Christopher kill the other man?
But
Why did the humans cross the road?
But there's gonna be some like stupid plot twist that because everybody realizes what death is, something's coming to like destroy the planet, and somebody's got to like stop everybody from like killing each
Okay,
other.
and the title of the film is, Kyle?
Deathmageddon.
Deathmageddon.
I'd watch it. I'll tell you that much.
This is fucking dark, though, dude. It's like, oh, we don't have to be afraid. And then everyone just starts murdering each other.
Well, not like
murdering
like,
themselves.
everybody's like chill with it. Like everybody's like, oh, okay,
That's
like
even more dark.
death is whatever. But
It's fine, honey. I want this.
See, but like that's the whole purpose of the movie. Is like, is death really bad? Like, is like the person watching it? Do they think death's bad because like nobody in the movie thinks that like inside the movie, death's not bad to them. But everybody watching the movie is like, death's bad. Do I change my perspective now? No, this is weird. So it's just like one of those psychological thrillers that like goes like way too extreme.
Yeah.
Pretty good. All
That's
right.
pretty good.
Matt, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
I just want to make a biopic about Mike Tyson.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You got plenty of time left, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. He's a nuts guy. I sent you that video earlier. He was playing with tigers.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
That was
Yeah.
fucking wild.
And he's talking about. He's like, I don't even know what the fuck I was thinking about this. Like, he's like, that shit was crazy.
I don't remember them being that big.
He's like, I got like 4 of them and shit.
Yeah, he's nuts, dude. That's it.
Oh, boy. All right.
But
Mike Tyson's gonna be the lead in my movie.
shit.
Nice. Good way to time together. All right. Give me a genre, because I don't know what the fuck to do. Genre of film.
Oh. Mockumentary.
Found footage.
A found footage mockumentary.
Found footage mockumentary. Yes. Found footage
All
mockumentary.
right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. Oh, boy. The Muppets. As you've never seen them before. But they're not the Muppets because that's like a intellectual piece of intellectual property. So it's like Kriticz, and it's fucking. It follows the main story of Mermit the Toad, and he fucking. Oh my god! And he's trying to make it big, and he fuck.
I just want you to know, Robot Chicken did a mockumentary on the Muppets.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, they did.
Because they had the band, like the Muppets
Shit.
band that has like animal in it.
Yeah.
They did like where like one like the chick frog, she has like AIDS.
Probably.
Oh, man.
She dies from it.
It was one of those behind the music things.
Yeah, behind the music.
When did full blown become a medical term?
Like when AIDS was a thing.
That's wild.
Yeah. Full blown AIDS. Straight up medical.
So
Wasn't that like Team America though?
No. It was
Full
definitely
blown.
in the 80s.
Full blown, like full blown.
Full blown AIDS. That is you find that shit in medical
yeah,
textbooks.
like he has AIDS. He has full blown AIDS.
Like straight
Straight
up.
up.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay,
Right?
Wait.
Yeah.
A second.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to this. No,
Regardless if it is or it is not.
No,
we,
I think so. I mean, this is a weird ending to the podcast.
No, we gotta do our round robin. Who wants to start off the full thing?
But he's looking at full blown AIDS, so
That's fine.
chill your shit out.
Yeah, man. Wait.
I know,
no.
right?
Yeah.
No, it is.
It's on Livestrong. And
That's
it's like
how you know.
literally
That's how you
without
know.
HIV treatment, full blown AIDS usually takes about a decade to develop.
That's what
It's
I'm
weird.
saying.
It's weird because like the word terminal existed before that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you call it terminal AIDS?
I just,
Full
I just
blown-
like
I think it's
a doctor coming up and was like, "All right, dude, you got fucking eggs, man." And I did say eggs.
Yeah, you said AIDS. That's
I
all
did say eggs.
Well,
You
yeah,
got fucking AIDS, dude. And then like the nurse coming in like, you gotta change. You can't say fucking.
I think it's a
AIDS."
product of the time it was.
But like, is
Popular-
anything
popular.
else like in the 80s? Was anything else like full blown? Like something.
Everything was
else?
full blown in the 80s, Kyle.
Okay, so that's what I make. So it was just like a
Full
product.
blow.
It was just a product of the 80s.
I think so. It's
So cocaine was full blow.
full blow.
I mean, because it just
Full
went
blown AIDS,
wham.
dude. That's like the best shit ever. I did not. know.
Wham was full blow.
I thought
Yeah.
that was like a South Park or like the like Team America.
You
when
fucking wish.
Well, they do the full blown AIDS song in Team America. Like it's like that musical.
Right.
I thought that's where full blown AIDS came from.
No, the doctors.
Like I'm pretty sure they talk about full blown AIDS in Philadelphia with Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah.
Like
I don't know if I've watched that movie.
No, I haven't watched it either, but I know it's where Tom Hanks gets AIDS.
I'm sorry, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, it's bad. Like
him, not the character. He had to fight through it.
Go hit up Magic Johnson. He's got you.
All right. Kyle, do you want to start off this
outro
action comedy?
action.
You got 30 more seconds, right? New movie. Ready?
No.
Matt, do you want to start off?
I don't want
Who wants to start
I
off?
want to do another. Got to do
You
another.
got to do a fun one now.
Oh, that sucks.
He needs depression.
I don't even.
No, just you get a new one. Do whatever you want. All right. You get a second try though. Are you ready? 30 seconds.
Sure.
Here we go. 3, 2.
Okay, so it's gonna be an action comedy about cavemen,
Okay.
and it's just gonna be about them like discovering fire, and fire just keeps exploding. And so it's like the first action movie ever.
Okay.
And so wait, is it what was the action comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's for sure comedy, for sure. But like, so like that's all the movie is like they discovered fire, but like they're
Stop.
trying to get away from it.
Matt. Go.
Do I attach onto him?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's it.
Characters. Story.
Andy
plotline?
Samberg.
Yeah,
And
no,
Bruce
definitely Andy.
Willis?
Yeah, okay, I can. No, that's
No Bruce Willis.
no. Yes.
Okay. They make fire, but it just keeps going boom
Uh-huh.
and no.
It's just like action shots of them running away from explosions, but it's just like different formats of it happening, and like they think they keep getting away from the fire,
Yeah.
and then they finally destroy
What's
it. Okay.
Okay, so Andy Samberg and Bruce Willis are two strapping young cavemen in the wild prehistoric world, and they're running away from exploding fire, which just erupts one day, and they're like, "Shit, we got to get away from this fire." But it sounds more like, caveman speech. I don't know. Sumerian.
No, dude, it
No.
should just be like grunts. It should just be like retarded grunts, and there's
Cool.
just like subtitles.
Those weren't cavemen.
No,
Sumerians.
I don't know.
grunts with subtitles. It'd be the best subtitle movie ever.
That'd be pretty good. All right, back to you.
Oh God.
More? What can we add?
So I'm thinking like, how do all of these like explosions happen? They got to be next to like a tar pit. Maybe tar pits like cause
Tar pit or lightning?
lightning's gonna
Zeus.
cause one of them.
Methane.
Methane for sure. So there's got to be like a gas pocket.
Okay.
There's got to be like a volcano at one point, maybe.
Right.
Like that's the finale. Like they like made fire that exploded. The fucking lava. Like the oil did something. That did something. Like methane did something, and like they think they
Stop.
get away from it. And then
So they think they get away from it, but they don't. they find the crater of fire, and it's a volcano.
Climax. Rising action. Where are we at? What's
Yeah,
the main?
like-
What's the main
The
issue?
rising action is there's a volcano.
Okay.
How
They're
does-
rising the volcano.
how does fire and cavemen end like happily? Bring it on. home.
cooked meat.
Bring it on.
All right. All right. So they're running away from all these fucking fireballs and shit. And they're like, oh, man, we're getting really tired of this fire. It used to be cool and helpful for like cooking rabbits and shit, but now it's like fucking destroying our women and taking our fucking livestock or whatever the shit.
So fire's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Who's the women?
Natalie Portman,
Sweet.
Olivia Munn,
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
End it. Boom.
I wish I had like the air horns.
I would have fucking set up that guy with all the goddamn shit. It's
Yeah.
super great.
April's got that. Let me tell you, April's got the
Okay.
app, and she would have sat there right next to me, and be like, "Wah wah 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 wah."
Yeah.
Yeah, you really need
We
to
need,
get a
yeah, we need to have
soundboard.
April on. I was gonna invite her. I don't know
For
what
sure.
she's doing.
For sure.
Yeah.
She got her hair done today.
Oh, word.
She got a
That
hair
would have been
did.
good for the
It
podcast.
takes a while.
Yeah.
takes a while.
All right. Well, on that note,
I want this movie. I really want
Yeah.
this movie.
I want all these
Okay,
movies to be
and
one
wait.
movie.
It's kind of
And-
like Day One with like Michael Cera, Jack Black, but like way funnier.
right.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
What is what's the title? And
Oh.
Fire Guys 3.
the firing.
There you go.
Fire Time BC.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Just
I
call
got
it. It's
nothing.
lit. It's just lit. It's lit.
It's lit. Lit.
It's lit. It needs to be it's lit, and it needs to come out next year.
Summer 2018,
Summer 2016.
2012.
It already
Oh,
came.
and they're gonna discover the wheel in this movie, and
Okay.
then they're gonna make a fidget spinner out of the wheel.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's lit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's lit.
Yeah, and all the fire effects will look really ghetto purposefully.
Right. It's
'Cause
like
lit.
it's because it's lit.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. That was pretty good. All right. Thank you for listening to the Starbaby Social Hour. Matt, Kyle, thank you for being on.
I'll be more constructive next time.
That's quite all right. It was good. We got into it. We got serious. We got fucking.
We could have
Yeah.
gone way deeper.
Could have.
How deep?
Coulda.
How deep do you want it?
I don't think we would have got out of that hole though.
No.
No.
It's a deep hole.
Next time we'll go deeper.
Okay. Or maybe not.
Oh.
Matt.
Can I only go so deep with you, Zach? Do you got
You
do
can.
you got a limit?
He's got a limit.
Does
It's
that-
back there.
Does that hole only go so far in?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's a hole. It's not a bottomless
I mean,
You can go straight through holes, like a hole in a wall.
bro, you're
wiener pit.
you're a donut hole with a human body around it. Have
It's
you
like,
ever
you
heard
know,
of that?
those like jelly tunnel snake things that you get
You are
as
that.
a child.
You realize that, right? Like there's a tube going through your
I know.
entire
It's
body.
nuts, right?
You're an
You-
entire. You're just a
You
donut.
grew from your asshole first.
You're a meat donut.
Your asshole formed first.
I don't appreciate this, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a meat donut too, Zach.
I
It's
forget what
okay.
they're called. Dude, it's, I don't know. There's a
I'm-
D.
Everybody's a meat donut, even
It's
animals.
just a real complex toroid.
From the ass.
You know?
Worms are probably the most simplified form of a meat donut.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been the Starbaby Social Hour. Thank you for listening. Next time we'll have
Meat
different
donut
people.
out.
Say goodbye to Meat Donut.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. That was good.